Do me a favor, try to imagine a world without computer memory. You'd spend hours waiting for programs to load, only to have your computer instantly forget everything as soon as you've turned it off. It'd be kinda like Dory from Finding Nemo, but instead of a lovable cartoon fish, you'd have a pricey hunk of metal and silicon with short-term memory loss. Thankfully, our computers come equipped with two types of memory that make our digital lives a breeze: DRAM and SSDs. These unsung heroes work together seamlessly to store and retrieve data at lightning speeds, enabling us to multitask, game, and binge-watch cat videos without skipping a beat. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's going on behind the scenes? How does your computer juggle countless tasks and massive amounts of data without breaking a sweat? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the fascinating world of computer memory. First up, let's talk DRAM, or Dynamic Random Access Memory. This is your computer's working memory, where it temporarily stores data for quick access. Think of it like a giant whiteboard that your computer can scribble on and erase as needed. Now, you might be wondering, why not just use DRAM for everything? Well, there's a catch. DRAM is volatile, meaning it only retains information when powered on. The minute you shut down your computer, poof! Everything stored in DRAM vanishes into the digital abyss, like a sandcastle washed away by the tide, or your girlfriend when she realizes she likes her Instagram models more than you. Oh, but don't let that scare you. DRAM's volatility is actually a feature, not a bug. By starting with a clean slate every time your computer powers on, DRAM ensures that your system runs smoothly and efficiently, without any leftover junk data clogging up the works. So, how does DRAM store and access data so quickly? The secret lies in its architecture. DRAM is organized into a grid of tiny capacitors and transitioners, each representing a single bit of data. To read or write data, your computer's memory controller selects the appropriate row and column in the grid, allowing for near instantaneous access to any bit. Oh, but hold on. There's more to this story than just rows and columns. You see, each capacitor in a DRAM cell is like a tiny bucket that can either be full, representing a 1, or empty, representing a 0. However, these buckets have a tendency to leak over time, like a slowly dripping faucet or a typical day at the NSA. To prevent data loss, DRAM needs to be constantly refreshed, with the memory controller periodically reading and rewriting the contents of each cell. It's kind of like a never-ending game of red light, green light, with the memory controller constantly shouting 1 or 0 to keep the data in line. But what about speed? How does DRAM keep up with the lightning-fast demands of modern computing? I'll tell you how, dipstick. The answer lies in a clever technique called interleaving. Instead of reading or writing one bit at a time, DRAM can access multiple bits in parallel by splitting its grid into smaller subarrays, each with its own dedicated circuitry. It's like having a team of memory ninjas working together in perfect synchronization, fetching and storing data with superhuman speed and precision. You know, as long as it's not a bunch of mall ninjas. But wait, there's still more. Modern DRAM also incorporates advanced features like dual-channel architecture and DDR, double data rate technology, which effectively double the rate at which data can be transferred to and from the memory module. With each new generation of DRAM technology, from DDR to DDR2, DDR3, and so on and so forth, memory speeds have continued to skyrocket, leaving older standards in the dust. Of course, all this speed and efficiency comes at a cost. DRAM modules are among the most power-hungry components in your computer, constantly sipping electricity to keep those tiny capacitors charged and ready for action. And who knows what the future holds? With new technologies like HBM, high bandwidth memory, and 3D stacked DRAM on the horizon, we may soon see memory speeds that make even the fastest DDR models today look like sluggish relics from the past. Now, let's talk about the other half of the dynamic duo, SSDs, or solid-state drives. Unlike DRAM, SSDs are non-volatile, meaning they retain data even when the power is off. If DRAM is your computer's short-term memory, SSDs are its long-term storage, like a digital filing cabinet that never forgets. SSDs have revolutionized the world of computer storage, leaving traditional hard disk drives, HDDs, in the dust. While HDDs rely on spinning disks and delicate read-write heads, SSDs use flash memory, which stores data in a grid of electrical cells. At the heart of every SSD is an array of NAND flash memory chips, each containing millions of tiny cells that can store one or more bits of data. These cells are organized into pages, which are then grouped into blocks. When data is written to an SSD, it's first stored on a page, and when a page is full, it's grouped with other pages to form a block. But here it is, that kicker we always talk about. Unlike HDDs, which can write data to any location on the disk, SSDs can only write to empty pages. If a page already contains data, the entire block must be erased before it can be written to again. This may sound like a disadvantage, but SSDs have a few tricks up their sleeves to overcome this limitation. One such trick is called wear leveling. Because NAND flash cells have a limited number of write cycles before they wear out, SSDs use sophisticated algorithms to spread writes evenly across all the available cells, ensuring that no single cell gets worn out prematurely. It's kind of like rotating your tires to ensure even wear and tear, but on a microscopic scale. Another trick SSDs employ is called garbage collection. Remember how SSDs can only write to empty pages? Well, when a file is deleted or modified, the old data isn't immediately erased. It's simply marked as invalid, and the new data is written to a different page. Over time, this can lead to a lot of garbage data taking up space on the drive. Kind of like that trash can in your room that I bet you haven't cleaned out in a long time because you're too busy watching these great videos. To combat this, SSDs periodically scan for invalid data and consolidate it into fewer pages, freeing up space for new writes. But the benefits of SSDs go far beyond just clever data management. The lack of moving parts means that SSDs are inherently more durable and shock-resistant than HDDs, making them ideal for use in laptops, tablets, and other portable devices. And because SSDs have no read-write heads to move around, they can access data much faster than HDDs, resulting in those lightning-fast boot times, snappy application launches, and speedy file transfers that we all can't live without. In fact, the speed advantage of SSDs is so significant that many high-end computers now use them as their primary boot drive, reserving larger HDDs for bulk storage of files and media. Think of it like having a charger for your daily commute and a dually pickup for hauling cargo. The best of both worlds. But SSDs aren't just faster and more durable than HDD, they're also more energy efficient. Because they have no moving parts to spin up and keep running, SSDs consume significantly less power than HDDs, which can translate to longer battery life in portable devices and lower energy bills for desktop users. Of course, like any technology, SSDs aren't perfect. They're a lot more expensive per gigabyte than HDDs, and their limited write cycles mean they may not be the best choice for applications that involve a lot of data writing, like video surveillance or high-traffic database servers. But for the vast majority of users, the benefits of SSDs far outweigh the drawbacks. As SSD technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even faster speeds, larger capacities, and lower prices in the years to come. With cutting-edge advancements like 3D NAND and NVMe interfaces pushing the boundaries of what's possible, it's an exciting time to be a storage enthusiast. If you enjoyed this deep dive into computer memory, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, when it comes to computer memory, it's all about teamwork.